Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and it's the big one. It's Chelsea against Manchester City in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge. We've also got all the 2 o'clock games to come in for you. Some shocking results actually. I mean, really shocking results. Brighton were down to 10 men, were 1-0 up. They've ended up winning they've ended up drawing. Sheffield United have got a point at Brighton, which is absolutely incredible. Liverpool have gone up to second in the Premier League, we'll give you that. We're sponsored by Manscaped as well. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Christmas is coming, give it a trim. Might help you out. Might not just be trimming the Christmas tree. You could be trimming another bush. Anyway, let's 20%. We'll talk about Manscaped in a moment, of course, but lots to talk about. Nothing more to talk about than the Manchester City trip to Chelsea. The league table is just whizzing by very, very quickly there. I do not want it to do that. I want it to go a little bit slower. Could you slow down a little bit so we can have a look at the league table, please? That's what we want to look at. So let's pause it on there. That's how the league table stands at the moment. 3 teams on 27 points. Wouldn't it be fantastic if Chelsea won today? They're not even in the top half of the table at the moment. So come on in, Chelsea. You're very welcome into the top half of the table. They're not a threat. We're all Chelsea today, unless you're a Man City fan at the end of the day. Surely. But for Brighton, that's a bad point. At home to Sheffield United, not winning. Man United up to 6th now with minus goal difference is incredible. I don't know how United have made it to 6th. I would say it's because Newcastle, Brighton, West Ham have fell off. I mean, we're still 4 points off 5th. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. United can play absolutely shite and still get to 6th place, which just says maybe the quality of the Premier League isn't as much as we thought it was, because I've got to say, Brighton and Newcastle have fell off massively, and so have West Ham, although they are winning at the moment, so that would be a big win for them. In fact, I think they've won already. They have. West Ham have beaten Forest 3-2. Liverpool have beaten Brentford 3-0. Brighton, as I aforementioned, have drawn 1-1 with Sheffield United. And Aston Villa win at home again. 3-1. What a season they are having. Can they keep it up? I think Villa are a bit like Spurs, where as far as I'm concerned, where they do have that problem with if they get an injury to somebody, then it could be a big problem for them. But look, Villa are doing very, very well at the moment, and we must and therefore will give them the credit that they deserve. But this is a massive game between Chelsea and Manchester City. Everything within my soul wants to see Chelsea get a result today, and everything in my soul suggests they won't get a result today. But we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. We really would. The link is already in the video description for Manscaped, by the way. Let me just tell you what they've got. You've got this. You've got that. You've got this. Oh, it's ready to go. I took it out of the cupboard and it was like, Goldbridge, I haven't had a trim for ages. This is the lawnmower, which goes down there. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. This is the handyman, which you just unclip like that, like an old-fashioned one. It will get you clean shaven in under a minute. And this is the one I use mainly, which is the hedge trimmer, which is for your face. And it's the quickest one I've ever had. Just gives you a little bit of stubble. It's got like 11 different lengths on it. And very, very powerful. Very powerful. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. You won't look back with Manscaped. You'll just be looking down and going, wow. That looks amazing. Make sure you get your stuff from Manscaped with that code, 20% off. You can scan the QR code, which is right next to me now, or you can go through the link in the video description. Big shout out to Manscaped. We've got a super chat coming in from Bames John, who says, the answer is no, Mark. We're not all Chelsea today. A Chelsea win means their Liverpool gets closer to the Premier League title, and we can't ever have that. Any team but Liverpool, even City. Yeah, you know what? You make a good point there. I would always say I don't want Liverpool to win the league because they're the #1 rival for Manchester United. Actually, you know, factually. But, look, I don't want Liverpool to win the league. That's always going to be my default. But is there something more credible about Liverpool winning the league than Man City? Of course there is. It's only the Manchester United thing which prevents me from wanting Liverpool to win the league over Man City. I mean, at the end of the day, Liverpool will equal 20 times if they win the league. That's a big problem. So you are right, but I am bored of Man City. And are we just discounting Arsenal here as well? So, look, we're doing it on the podcast this week. It's basically the Goldbridge half-term report where we're going to give marks for every team so far in the Premier League. So, you know, maybe Brighton are a C at the moment. Maybe somebody like Luton is an F. So we're going to do that on Tuesday on the podcast. But, you know, we shouldn't discount Arsenal. What would you rank Arsenal as a grade so far this season? Yeah. Tommy says Brighton's just cost me £1,000. If you watched Win, Lose or Draw this week, which is where me and Ben Foster go head to head predicting the results for the week, I said Brighton home win. Ben went Brighton home win, and then Luke, his camera guy and producer, said go with a draw. And he knows what he's on about. And he's got. I mean, this guy, he said go for a draw, Brighton and Sheffield United, and then it's landed in the lap. I mean, that is the pick of the season on Win, Lose or Draw. It's cheating from Foster, it is, but no, I mean, I've got to applaud it. Fantastic, and let's be honest, Foster needed the points. I also went with a draw between West Ham and Forest, and West Ham got a late winner, and I know Foster went for a West Ham win, so that's 2 points he's got on me straight away. So I can't remember what I went for with Chelsea, Man City. Oh no, we both went for a win. So yeah, there's no changing that, is there? Anyway, let's have a look at the teams. Let's have a first look at Chelsea. Not really any major shocks for either of these teams. There are a couple of players who miss out, but I wouldn't say it's massively shocking. You've got Sanchez in goal, James, Disasi, Thiago Silva, Cucurella, Caicedo, Fernandes and Gallagher, and then Palmer, Sterling and Jackson. Colwill, I think, maybe has a knock. He's not even on the bench. Badashil, Mudryk, Madueke, Ogochukwu, Broho, Gusto, Petrovic, Matson and Matos are on the bench for Chelsea. So no place for Colwill, which I don't know. Maybe he's carrying an injury on. I don't know. Maybe some people in the chat. Anthony Taylor is the ref, BBG, and we do have to acknowledge that. He is ill. He is injured, says Sick. So thank you very much for that update. And then we move on to the Manchester City side. I mean, I think that's a good Chelsea side. I mean, I look at that Chelsea side. We've got to play Chelsea at Old Trafford in a couple of weeks' time, early December. And I was saying this yesterday. That midfield shits all over Man United. I mean, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo and Gallagher is way better than McTominay, Eriksen and Bruno. So I think you look at that Chelsea team and you go, it's a good team, but can it function? And that's always going to be the issue with them, isn't it? Always going to be the issue with Chelsea until they do start functioning. And what a game to do it in. I just think this team's going to be too powerful for them. Manchester City are the dominant force in English football. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Akanji, Vardiel, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, Foden, Doku and Haaland. And their bench is Phillips, Kovacic, Grealish, Ortega, Nunez, Carson, Bob and Lewis. Now, they're still missing John Stones. They're still missing Kevin De Bruyne. And yet they can still have people like Kovacic, Grealish and Phillips on their bench. I mean, the depth of quality that Manchester City have got is just incredible. And I don't think today, I don't think the game... Why is the timer going? That's a bloody good point. That's why people are saying 1-0. Get that off. I don't think today is really going to be about whether Chelsea are a good or bad side. I think today is going to be about the fact that Manchester City are just better than everybody else. And I think Man City will win today because they are better than everybody else. Amen says, I am addicted to your watch-alongs, Mark. Pure entertainment and unexpected funny moments. I'm sure we can provide some of those. I'm definitely Team Chelsea today. Nolan says, we've got a bit of a title race. Can I just ask, I don't know whether... There's two things I want to talk about before this game and throw your questions because we've got 20 minutes to kick off. Endo red card. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? The tackle from Endo against Brighton today. I don't know at what point it was. My opinion on it, I've seen it, was that it's a red card. It's the same as Curtis Jones. It's the same as Romero. He wins the ball and follows through with the studs. It's a red card. Now, what I will say is I don't think Curtis Jones should have got a red card. So I don't think Endo should get a red card. But I have to sympathise with Brentford. The inconsistency, again, is appalling. We are in this situation, which I mentioned on Friday, where every game is being refereed differently. And I'm tired of it. And I'm sure everybody else is tired of it. Everything is so subjective. Why are we refereeing the Premier League in a subjective way? Consistency is all we ask. And if we're sending people off like Curtis Jones and Romero and Casemiro for winning the ball but following through with studs, then Endo should get sent off. We either give a red card for all of those or we don't. Now, I don't think that Curtis Jones should have been sent off. I don't think that Endo should be sent off. But I have seen people get sent off for that. So we're either following the rule or we're not following the rule. What we cannot have is game to game the same thing being chalked off. Yesterday, Saka got penalised for a push in the back of a Burnley player. The week before, a push in the back from Joel Linton on Gabriel is not a foul. The inconsistency is absolutely incredible, and I think this is the problem. And the VAR will probably go, well, this, that, and the other. But I think he should have got a red card because we've seen people get red cards for that. So it's not, I really don't care. Liverpool won the game, fair play. But it's the inconsistency. It's just the inconsistency that's the problem. And yeah, I do think it should have been a red card in light of what we've seen red cards given for. But if they're suddenly saying they're not red card tackles anymore, I'm all for it. As we saw last week with Havertz, wasn't a red card, should have been a red card. I suspect they will review that this week and say Endo should have got a red card because I think they've made a mistake there. The second thing I want to talk about, and I don't know how my FPL is going at the moment, Liam. The second thing I want to talk about, and as I'm sure everybody will agree with me on this, James Ward-Prowse, 2 assists today for West Ham. He has... Look, I may as well do it. No one else is going to do it. James Ward-Prowse, from Southampton to West Ham, has been arguably the signing of the season. He has been absolutely brilliant. And since when did we dismiss assists? Manchester United can't score from corners and free kicks. West Ham are doing it all the time. What he does is specialist. And he's doing it very well in a very good league. Is he in the England squad again? No. Is Jordan Henderson in the England squad? Yes. This is the message the England manager wants to send to the nation, to young children who want to play for England, to current players who want to play for England, to the nation. I'm going to pick a guy who basically, greedily, went to Saudi Arabia to double his already brilliant wages and retire, and he gets picked for England over a player that's moved from Southampton to West Ham, a step up, and is delivering in the Premier League week in, week out. Gareth Southgate is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What sort of message is that? You're picking a guy earning 400-500 grand a week, playing in front of 300 or 400 people in a league that's basically there for him to retire, over James Ward-Prowse, who is delivering in the Premier League. What sort of message is that? It's a very, very bad message. And I don't care about the moral stuff. People will say, well, he's not wearing his rainbow laces anymore either. I'm not interested in that. Who knows why he was doing that and what he's done that for. That's not to do with football. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about the fact that Jordan Henderson has retired to Saudi Arabia and is being picked over James Ward-Prowse, who is delivering consistently at a very high level in this league. I think it's disgusting. And I think the FA are a shameful organisation that they allow that sort of behaviour to go on for the English national team. I think it's a disgrace. I think it's an absolute disgrace. And I've had my say on that. You wake up tomorrow, you're the CEO of the Premier League. I know you're not on the stand. What would you change to improve the competition? Says Radu. What would I change to improve the competition? The Premier League's a very good league. I think we just want consistency in officiating and kick Man City out of the league. And I think everyone will be happy. Calvin Phillips as well has only played 89 minutes in the Premier League this season. Not starting again. Picked over James Ward-Prowse. I forgot about that. Yeah. Interesting with the Endo red card. I'm happy to be a democracy. 53% of you said it wasn't a red card. 47% of you said it was a red card. And I tell you what, here's another take for you. Liverpool are second in the league and will be second in the league tonight no matter what. Unless Chelsea drub Man City, which isn't going to happen. Liverpool are second in the league. Last season was a very, very bad season for them. Liverpool are second in the league. Are we going to acknowledge how they've achieved that? Are we going to take on board what I've been saying for a very long time? The reason they are where they are at the moment is because Jurgen Klopp has rebuilt the most important area in the pitch. And we've been speaking about this for weeks, months on here, and still the mainstream haven't really picked up on it yet. He rebuilt a midfield in 2 months. Henderson gone, Fabinho gone, Thiago's injured, basically gone. Endo, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gakpo, Gravenberch. He has just rejuvenated that midfield. His midfield three today had no McAllister, had no Gravenberch. It was Szoboszlai, Endo and Gakpo. And he has rebuilt that midfield and has given himself 4 or 5 combinations as well. It's painful to admit as a Manchester United fan, but what he has done with that midfield, if Pep Guardiola had done it, and he probably would have spent a lot of money to do it, they would be right up his arse. But I think it's incredible what Klopp's done. And I don't know whether... Do the media like Klopp? I don't know if you've got any Liverpool fans here. Do the media not like Klopp or something? Because I don't read it enough. I mean, obviously you've got people like Carragher and that who love Liverpool, but I don't think the mainstream really do talk about Liverpool that much. Salah's massively underrated. I don't know why Salah is never in the Ballon d'Or conversation as well. That stuns me. I mean, I enjoy all this as a United fan because I don't have to listen to Liverpool being rammed down my throat. But real talk, like Salah's massively underrated. What he's done with that midfield is incredible and nobody's talking about it. And they're second in the league. And it's almost like they treat Liverpool like it's the Liverpool of the 80s where they dominated football when I was growing up. They've never dominated in the last 30 years. They won a league. They've pushed Man City. But I just don't get it. I just don't get how it's not acknowledged what an absolute machine Mo Salah is and should be held up as one of the best players in the world. And also, what he's done with that midfield. I crave a Man United manager to solve our midfield. We've been trying to solve our midfield issues for a decade. He's done it in 2 months. He's rebuilt a whole midfield in 2 months. Man United haven't done it in a decade, and it's the most important area of the pitch. And that's why Liverpool are where they are. They always had a good front line. They always had a reasonably good defence. They've got a world-class goalkeeper, but they were a donut last season. They were a bagel. And he's filled it. And that is why Liverpool are where they are. And they did it today against what is a good Brentford side without McAllister, without Gravenberch, who were neither of them in the squad. I don't know whether they were injured or not, but a very good result for Liverpool that puts them right back in it. I did say this to you a few weeks ago, that Liverpool have got a good run of fixtures and they've certainly taken advantage of them. I think it was post... Was it... I mean, the Luton result. I mean, if they beat Luton, it was after Brighton. They had Everton, which they won, Forest, which they won. Obviously, they've drawn with Luton, but then they've beaten the Brentford today. The rest of their fixtures, rub your hands together. Guess what Liverpool's next game is? Saturday, the 25th of November, at the Etihad, Man City against Liverpool. Oh, I will be there. We will be there for a watch-along. I can't wait for that. But then straight after that, even if Man City were to beat them, they've got Fulham at home, Sheffield United away, Palace away, and then Man United at Anfield, which I am not looking forward to. I said on the United stand this morning, if Ten Hag doesn't get that team playing proper football, that could be a massive day in Ten Hag's Manchester United career, because we went there and lost 7-0 last time. If he's still on the ropes and we go to Anfield with the team he's putting out at the moment, playing the way it is, and we get pummeled, that could be it. That could be it. And all the people who want Ten Hag could be getting a very early Christmas present. How long do you think Klopp will stay at Liverpool, says Tom? I think he stays for a long time. Yeah, I think he stays for a long time. I mean, where else are you going to go? Like, I don't think there's another job that Klopp's going to want. Does he want Real Madrid? Does he want Barcelona? I don't think he's going to want to go to PSG or Italy. So I think the only places Klopp goes is national team or Real Madrid, Barcelona. He's never going to go to another Premier League club, is he? You wake up tomorrow. I've done that one from Raddy. Thank you very much. Not getting Bellingham helps Liverpool, says CJ. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? What would have happened if they had got Bellingham? It is interesting. That is an interesting point. Would Liverpool be better with Bellingham? I mean, Bellingham's a fantastic player, but I agree with you. I think Liverpool needed quantity, not quality. you know, Bellingham's fantastic. He'll probably win a Ballon d'Or. But one Bellingham is not as good as McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. You know, they've used the money better. If that's a red card, then Curtis Gran is still alive. Probably not even a yellow, Mark, says Will. Simon Lofthouse, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. We're in London, aren't we? We are in London. We are in London, and hopefully the London tax hits Manchester City, because I need a Chelsea win today. Or a draw, either or. I don't mind, but I think Man City will win. The big one. It is the big one. I haven't even tweeted it. Please share the video. What the hell am I? I don't know whether that's what Man City are wearing or not. Right, time for a little stretch here. Anyway, I hope you've all had a good Sunday. I'm not flying low. It's fine. The beast is in the cage, or his cave, or whatever you want to call it. I hope you all had a good Saturday as well. I was not on TalkSport last night. I don't know whether anybody bothered watching the show anyway. But I was not on TalkSport last night. It was a night off. I haven't been sacked and I haven't quit. It was a night off for a bonfire night party I went to at the quite local. Saw quite a lot of people going Goldbridge. Did a few photos. Couldn't do them all. Would have been there all night. But nice to see people. Nice to get out. Saw the fireworks with Seb, and then a few beers and an Indian takeaway last night. And then today, at the rest of the Indian takeaway, and had a sticky toffee pudding and a nice afternoon. It's very wet in the UK, very cold, but I don't mind it on a Sunday because you get the fire on. Look forward to this game with you good people. So yeah, very relaxed today. I hope you're all doing very well. Van Dijk today, by the way, colossal. Nervous about City though, says Island Running. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait for that. I really can't wait for that. Johnny says, I missed you on TalkSport last night. Well, hopefully it was a good show without me. Hopefully the views were high. I didn't look at it at all, so I don't know. And happy Diwali, Mark, says Abathis. Yes, I love this. I was watching on Saturday Kitchen yesterday all this Indian food being cooked, and I was like, I love it. It reminded me when I was at primary school in West Bridgeford, and we had a couple of people in the class who were Indian, and their parents, when it was Diwali, used to come in with all this fantastic food, which in the late 80s wasn't really as prominent as it is now. I hardly ever had Indian food, so it was lovely. All the samosas and stuff like that, fantastic. I nearly said it's the Stadium of Light. That's Sunderland and Benfica. It's the Festival of Light. Jackson's going to score. Well, the players are in the tunnel. Nice little. I tell you what, I like that Chelsea tracksuit top. I'm a bit of a fashion guru, and well, I like to think I am. I do like that Chelsea top. Get rid of the sponsor, but I like it. It's shiny. I like the gold. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that top that Reece James is wearing. I am a big fan of it. Don't send me one. I'd never wear it, but and I don't like the sponsor, but I do like the top. Man City's, I'd throw it. I wouldn't wipe my arse with it. My arse would say, what are you doing? Why are you disrespecting me with that Man City top? Get me some Durex. And not Durex, that's complete. No, not that. I meant Andrex. The one with the puppy. Not the other one. Bloody hell. We get all sorts of wrong messages going out. Chelsea fan here. Badashil should have started, says NBA. Never had Indian food. What should I order, says MSJ. Oh, if you don't like spicy food, start off with a korma. I can't believe what I just said. And I meant Andrex. It's easy to get mixed up. You know, the one with the little Labrador. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Anyway, here he comes. He'll be loving this. Anthony Taylor. Imagine. I've never met Anthony Taylor, so I'm absolutely not going to confirm this. But a few people who have said he's exactly what he's like on the pitch, off the pitch. Read into that what you like, but he will love. Basically, they said to me, he will love this. He will love this today. The fact that everyone's talking about him, which says a lot about our referees, doesn't it? Have you seen the Zinchenko goal yesterday? It's a banger, says Dylan. I have. Of course, I have. Butter chicken is very nice. Chicken tikka masala is one of my favourites as well. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, by the way. This is going to be a massive game. Thanks for joining us on That's Football, as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 55,000, well, 1 million, but 55,000, 1,055,000. We're only 300 subscribers away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe, get involved. We've got daily content on the channel. There's normally something topical that we talk about, upload around lunchtime during the week. And then we've got the watch-alongs. And don't forget, next Saturday, it's international break, but every year I do this, the Goldbridge all-day stream for charity. It's for the Marie Curie Centre, who helps and supports the families and people with terminal illness. So people who are going to die, sadly. So we stream all day, raising money for people like that. We've done it for the last few years. We've raised over £100,000. So it's a big day next Saturday, streaming all day. In fact, I'll be getting food. You can decide what I'm going to eat and all that. We'll get some food on the order and stuff, and we'll do a bit of FIFA, and maybe we'll do a little bit of Call of Duty. We'll have some quizzes, all sorts of stuff like that. We'll play it by ear, but it's always a very, very important day. And one of my best friends from school's brother has just died of cancer, actually, sadly, in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, even more poignant. We all know somebody, don't we? And it's still these horrible illnesses that take people away, and we've got to do our part. So next Saturday, all day streaming with that. Make sure you're about and get involved if you can. I'll be love to have your company. Could do a bit of Football Manager. We could do. There's a lot of things we could do. So thank you everyone for getting involved, and please do subscribe to this channel. As I said, bottom right hand corner. Good on you, Mark. Thank you. Well, no, look, the success of this channel, the United Stand, the charity work, everything, it's a community thing. Like, I'm not naive to think that I can do it on my own, which I can't. It's a team and community thing. Right, we're ready to go here. I'm going to go with a Man City win. I'd love Chelsea to do it, but I think this is just about quality, and I think the quality here will be Manchester City. They've given everybody a chance already, I feel. Manchester City. I've done my annual Man City in Crisis video where they just seem to respond. We're approaching Christmas where they seem to go into top gear. They do lose games, Man City, in the autumn, but teams don't take advantage of it, and they're up at the top. Spurs are falling away now. Arsenal probably could do a little bit better. Yeah, it's intriguing to see, but I as much as I would love to see Manchester City beaten today, I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. I think they're going to be too strong. But look, who knows? Anything can happen in football, and this Premier League has served up plenty of big games in the past, plenty of surprises in the past, and maybe, just maybe today, we will see more surprises. I would love it. Chelsea's big problem is, can they put the ball in the back of the net? Well, we're about to find out, but they've got the home advantage. Man City as well. We've not really spoken massively about Manchester City, but let's not forget that Manchester City are going through some very, very, very challenging fixtures. Now, whether they're challenging to them or not is another matter. But yeah. I've lost my live chat. There we go. Got nearly 14,000 watching already. Absolutely incredible community here. The best community out there, let's be honest. Everybody else is just a wish version because we were first. Mark just had a lovely roast dinner with mint sauce, says Neff. I'm glad you had a dinner and mint. Well, you could have had mint. It could have been a different roast, is what I'm trying to say. But I'm glad you clarified that. I was meant to have a lamb roast today, but ended up having Indian takeaway because I ordered too much last night. Where can we get tickets for the Christmas show, says Nath. Shall I drop a link in the video description for you? That might be easier to do. We're just waiting for the start of the game here. Obviously, Remembrance weekend here in the UK. I told you what happened with me and Seb yesterday at Sainsbury's. We walked onto the elevator, you know, the walking elevator, just as they were starting it. So everyone was stood watching us walk down. We didn't walk down, we stood still. And we were in silence, but people were looking. It was a moment. It was a moment. But it was fine. It was respectful. We were just moving. Right, Anthony Taylor. What have you got for us? Traditionally causes Chelsea issues. I have only ever ended a watch-along before 90 minutes once. And it was Chelsea-Arsenal FA Cup final a few years ago. And I switched it off after 70 minutes because I was appalled by the officiating. That's a word that's been used with Anthony Taylor quite consistently. Appalling. So let's just hope today, we remember today as a day where the football is good. Because I don't want another VAR nightmare. Oh, I turned off Everton Man City last year as well. Yeah, if that was for different reasons. That was petulant. I'll put my hands up. Whoever was asking about the Christmas show, it's in Manchester on December the 11th. The link is in the live chat. I've just pinned it for you. Click that link and you can get your tickets. Anyone's welcome to come to that show, by the way, because as much as it's in Manchester, so it's the United Stand Christmas show, the Not So Silent Night. A lot of the stuff I do is not specific. It's football specific. We've also got football fill-in, Ben Foster versus Goldbridge Saves Football Christmas quiz as a section. So you could come and have a good time anyway. Anthony Taylor masterclass today, says Ronan. Also be giving out presents and everything. Santa Bridge. I'm not the real Santa, by the way. Utter disgrace that Celtic fans continue to boo through Remembrance Sunday. Minute silence every year, says Viking. Can Chelsea get into this? Raheem Sterling up against Kyle Walker. Forget about it. You know what? If that was Victor Lindelof, you're probably away. But Sterling ain't getting away from Kyle Walker. It's funny, isn't it, Pep Guardiola? For all the good football they play, he is a massive part of their defence because he's got that. It's what you call get out of jail pace. I'm not saying Kyle Walker's broken out of prison, but he's got that ability to rescue them with pace. He's so fast. I think if Kyle Walker had left Man City this year, oh, what a terrible ball that is. Who's passed that? Was it Palmer? Very lucky. Tried lazy pass across the face of the Chelsea defence, and it went to Haaland, but his control was bad. Palmer is starting for Chelsea, yes. I mean, we've not got the stats carousel going around, have we, actually? Don't forget that OneFootball sponsor our stats carousel, which is spinning around and updates per second. Here is Doku. Let's see what happens with this first. Yes, Stats Carousel spins around, sponsored by OneFootball. Get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news on OneFootball. Links in the description. Free to download on Apple and Android. The thing I do like about the OneFootball app is that, as you can see here, we've got the team stats. Sorry, not the team stats. We've got the stats going round in relation to pass completion, etc. They individualise it for the players as well, so you can see how individual players are doing on the app for OneFootball as well. So check it out. It's free to do it. Yeah, first goal's always going to be important. Start, bench, sell, Santa, Grinch or Scrooge? Well, I'm starting Santa, J. Grinch can go on the bench because he's savable. And Scrooge, just a miserable old twat. What? Oh, watch Field. Oh, no, he didn't do it that time. Normally when he gets fouled, he rolls around the floor going, oh. Cucurella, you can stand under my barella. We're in London, aren't we? Says Jared. Red Devil says Pep would have replaced Kyle Walker with pace anyway, someone like Frimpong. Yeah, that's the thing about Pep. Baby Juice says United are 6th now, Mark. Pretty decent. It is. Until you watch us play. And then, you know, as I said this morning, Manchester United are 6th. But this is the games we've won. Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton, all in the bottom 3. We've also beaten Fulham, who are 16th. Forest, who are probably about 15th. Brentford, who are probably now mid-table. And Wolves, who are about 12th. So Man United have won 7 games and are in 6th. But we've played... The wins we've had are against teams that are... Basically, December is massive for United. We've got Everton away, Newcastle away, Liverpool away, West Ham away, Chelsea at home, Aston Villa at home. New Year's Day, you'll know more about Man United, basically. Chelsea have started well here, says Oscar. They have. Palmer with the cross. Easy catching for Ederson. Man United are the most informed team in the league at the moment, says Robbo. We are. In relation to wins, if we're talking about style of play, we're not playing much better football than Luton. Start, bench, sell, Mandalorian, Andor or Obi-Wan. I really enjoyed Obi-Wan and I liked Andor. So hold on a minute. Man City, cross into the box, easily dealt with by Casida. I mean, look, I do think that Chelsea should be able to compete with Manchester City. Considering the quality of players they've got, it will be It will be scoring goals that is Chelsea's problem. It's been their problem all season. Here's Raheem Sterling. Into Jackson. Terrible flick. Man City come away. It's that final third that's the problem. City with a bit of a breakaway. They've got a 4v3 here, but now Chelsea have got a lot of players back. What would I do? Start, bench, sell. I would start... Obi-Wan, I would bench Andor, and I would sell Mandalorian. And that's not easy to do, Stu, but there you go. Please like the video, says Arix. Corner to Manchester City here. Good tempo to this game. Is he going to go back and book Casido here? Taylor. I don't know whether he is or not. No, I think he's letting it go. Last season, I asked you to start bench sell with Salah, Kane and Rashford, and you said bench Rashford, sell Kane. Do you still hold that opinion, says Noz? Obviously not. I'll start Salah, I'll bench Kane, and I'll sell Rashford. Because you've got to be real about form, haven't you? Anyway, corner to Manchester City. I'd take a point here, a draw. I'm not taking a point. I don't support either team. I'd be happy with a draw here, but ideally a Chelsea win. Disasi and Diaz having a bit of a push and shove here. I think Disasi would batter him if they actually had a wrestling match. Or a game of chess. He looks cleverer and stronger. I just don't want to see a big VAR decision in this game. I really want to see a game of football. Jackson, go on then. Go on. Oh, he's tried to take Kyle Walker on for pace. That's incredible. Hi, Mark. Big fan from Ireland. Could you say a happy birthday to my younger brother, Aidan, and John, Lisa, Patrick, Mum and Dad, Ten Hag in, says Patrick. There you go. Patrick with the family shout out there. And big shout out to younger brother Aidan. I hope you're having a good day. And Pete says, I want to bring my son to the Christmas show. He's only 14. Is that doable? Unfortunately, a Villa fan, but loves you. Little side has made me take him to 4 Villa home games this year, says Pete. I think as long as they're accompanied by an adult, it's fine. I'm pretty sure. Just double check on the website, but I think it is. I'll be married in 4 hours, says Sean. I'm heading to the venue. Who gets married at... You must live in a different country. No one gets married at 8:30 on a Sunday. That's ridiculous. Good luck anyway. And that's not based on who you're getting married to. I don't know who it is. Daniel, RDM. Well, thank you for remembering for 18 months. Start, bench, sell, baseball, rowing, or field hockey. I'll sell them all. Actually, I don't mind rowing in the Olympics. I'll start rowing. Field hockey. I'll probably sell hockey and bench baseball. I'm not a big fan of any of them. Oh, I mean, this is an intriguing game, you know. Whoa, what's gone wrong there? What's gone wrong there? Just lost it. Get back on. See that guy running towards the camera there? I don't know what was wrong with him. It looked like seeing a ghost. We were 6 minutes into the game and Carragher thought it was worth mentioning that the refs had a good start to the game. I hate it, says Don Robbie. Ugh. Check his bank account. What, yeah, check his bank account. What are they talking about? I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? We're talking about fucking referees. Not literally. No one wants to do that. But we're talking about referees 6 minutes into the game. The whole point is we don't want to talk about the referee. I'll give a referee a shout out. When we did the Wolves-Spurs watch-along yesterday, I didn't know the name of the referee. I'd never heard of him before. And at the end of the game, I wouldn't have known his name either. Because I only knew his name because I asked for his name at the start of the stream. I didn't know his name before the game, and I didn't know anything about him at the end of the game. That's good refereeing. When you don't know their name, they're a good referee. They should be seen and not heard. We shouldn't be talking about them. I think City are starting to get a bit of momentum here. Start, bench, sell. Kane, Lewandowski, Osimhen. I would start Kane at the moment. I would bench Osimhen and I would sell Lewandowski, Jace. That's just my opinion, which you asked for. Thank you very much for your super chats, by the way. Appreciate that. You've got the wrong timer here. I haven't. I'm on 10:26 and my TV screen is on 10:26. Start, bench, sell. Robin Hood, Beowulf or King Arthur, says Jay. This is going a bit silly now. I would start Robin Hood because I'm from Nottingham. I would bench Beowulf because I like that story and we used to get told it at school. And I would sell King Arthur because basically he's a mythical king who sits round a round table. Boring. If animals could talk, which would be the rudest, says Lee. I don't care. Come on, let's talk about football. There's a time for this. We have all those sort of talks in a boring game. This is game of the weekend. This is, at the moment, exciting. We just don't want it to get ruined. 18,000 people watching. Incredible. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Get involved in the chat. That's Football's the place to be. The original gangsters, that's what we are. We started it all off because we're the best. And I'm talking about you. Hi, Mark. Start, bench, sell. Bournemouth, Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen and the Bourne film series. Oh, I love the Bourne films. I want to watch them all again. They're breaking away, Mr. Lister, down the right-hand side. It's a 4v4. It could be a 4v5 for Chelsea. What's he going to do, Palmer? He's got stuck. He's been greedy and he's blown it, but he's got it back. He's got it back. He plays a little 1-2 with Gallagher. Akanji gets the head on it. Oh! And Edison's quickly off his line. You see, that's why last Sunday I really bigged Luton up. Because they had a 3v2 and they dealt with it brilliantly. So many teams on the training ground, they'll score 4v5, 3v2. When the attackers have got the numerical advantage on the training ground, they will score most of the time. Put it into a game situation and the pressure, and very, very few teams take advantage of it. Start, bench, sell, edition, Champions League ball, orange Premier League ball and white ball behind you. Oh, can we come back to that, Ataro, a little bit later? Because you're actually talking about physical objects I've got behind me. But my favourite ball behind me is the best ball to kick is the night one, the white one. That's the best one. That's the best one. I've used all of them. That's the best one. My favourite ball is probably that white one there. Start, bench, sell. Yeah, I've done that one. Hello, mate. Can you... just say. Rahul, I cannot reveal anything about that because I don't reveal stuff like that. There's always two sides to a story. And we're professional. So we don't start bitching on Twitter and social media, making videos about people. We're professional. And I choose, and the people I work with choose not to get involved in those sort of things because it just comes across as really unprofessional. So that's the honest answer. Not going to get involved in it. Used to do that years ago, YouTube beef, and I just think it's just childish. You know, best of luck to anybody who is doing content in this arena. It's not easy, and all the best to them in the future. But it says a lot about people who start bitching on YouTube and Twitter. I think, yeah, just get on with what you're doing at the end of the day. Start, bench, sell. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Van Gaal or Moyes. We're not doing start, bench or sell. We're watching Man City play Chelsea. I'll do the odd few, but we're not sitting doing... We'll do... I'll tell you what, we'll do a live stream on the international break. Start bench Sal edition. But this is a good game. I've got to keep my mind on this here. I want to see Mudryk versus Walker in a sprint, says Kinnell. Who wins? Hey, it's time for a poll. Who wins in a race? Let's do it. Who wins in a race? Kyle Walker or Mudryk? And let's add Maguire in for a laugh. No, I won't. Either or only works when it's two. City have started to take a little bit of control in this game so far. Chelsea just dropping a little bit. Thoughts on Leeds as a football club and City, says Oscar. As a City, it's fine. I've only been there about 3 or 4 times in my life. As a football club, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the Championship looks like at the moment. I don't even know the results from the weekend. I really am elitist when it comes to football. And I unashamedly do not look at the Championship. I do a podcast with Will, who is a Birmingham City fan, and talks about them all the time. I don't even know what their result was at the weekend. But I presume it wasn't good because they're 18th in the league. Leeds are 3rd, so they're doing quite well. Here's Alvarez. Good block by Cucurella. That's another... Is it a corner or a throw-in? Yeah, Leeds must be doing quite well because they're 3rd. Ipswich are 2nd and Leicester are top. I mean, Ipswich are doing very, very well. 39 points. They could be getting promoted. Be nice to see Ipswich back in the Premier League as well. Not if you're a Norwich fan, but yeah, they're doing very, very well at the moment. Corner to Manchester City. Birmingham got beat by Sunderland 3-1. Rooney, terrible record. They've got to go into the long game though. Oh, I tell you what, header from, was it Diaz there or Vardial from the edge of the box? Should never have been going in, but because it went through a crowd, I thought it might go in the bottom corner for a minute. No, good defending. Salford lost at home to Mansfield. Oh dear, Gary. Solihull Moors 1-2-1. Get in, away from home at Dagenham and Redbridge. Get in the bin, Dagenham and Redbridge. That's a cracking result, that is. I'm really happy with that. Up the Moors. Very hard lead to get out of. But they're 3rd. 3rd at the moment. 10 points off Chesterfield. They're just running away with it. The new Wrexham. Where are Salford in the league? I'll tell you. Tweet Gary, he'll tell you. They're 15th. 15th with 21 points. Excuse me. 21 points for Salford, which is 6 points off the playoffs. Wrexham are 2nd at the moment. Kyle Walker's got the vote with 64%, quicker than Mudryk. There we go. Another super chat's coming in. It's from Brandon. Love the channel. Predict the first scorer. I like that. I like that. Let's predict the first scorer. I mean, I won't be able to read them all out. But my first goal scorer prediction is going to be... I've got a feeling Chelsea might score first. I'm going to go with Palmer. Palmer to score first. Here he is. Left-hand side. He's done it! What a goal! Palmer! No, he said... No, he hasn't really. I'm joking. Imagine if someone actually thought that was true. Here's Conor Gallagher. Straight to Edison. Fan on TalkSport last night said City will win the league and just give other teams hope at the start of the season before taking control. Thought, says Ollie. Well, I don't think they're consciously dropping points at the start of the season. But they do it every year, and then they fall into gear, don't they? Birmingham was 6th when Rooney took over, says Phenom. Yeah, it's not going great at the moment. Mark was walking out the door when you said that, and I genuinely thought we'd scored. Apologies, you know, that was too far, way too far. That's like me saying, Alexa, play Your Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. How's your FPL going? I don't know, is the honest answer. So I'm going to tell you now. Live reveal. I didn't change my team. So, it's crap. It's really crap. The whole team's crap. Like, I'm in massive trouble, right? Really big trouble. I've got 39 points, yeah? Yeah, good play by Sterling. He's done really well. Terrible pass. I've got 39 points. But I've got Lascelles and Colwell in my team, and neither of them have any points. And on the bench, I've got Gusto, who won't play. And Ferguson didn't play. So I've got 3 players in my starting lineup with 0 points and will stay on 0 points. So I've had an absolute shit week. I mean, I've got Haaland captain, but yeah, it's crap. I didn't do my team. Good cross into the box and headed away by Thiago Silva for a corner. Naf is on 78 after Samiskas subbed in for White. Yeah, I didn't do my team, so I can't have any complaints really. They're looking at a penalty here. I think he's given a penalty. I don't know. Oh my God. Another soft penalty for City again. Another soft penalty for City again. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Every week it's the same. They've had, I tell you what, they've had more presents than Santa this year. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. If they give a penalty for this, and then they didn't give a foul on... Oh, they're looking for another one now. Well, there's a foul on Reece James before that. There's a foul on Reece James before that. So they can't give a penalty here because there's a foul on Reece James before. He fouls Reece James. So they've got to give a foul. What are they doing? Oh my God. Another game ruined by VAR. Clip me up because this league's out of control. There's a foul on Reece James before the cross and then they've gone searching for another fucking foul. This is not a foul. That is not a foul. That is no worse than what Joel Linton did to Gabriel last week, and they're giving penalties in games like this. Absolutely incredible. Our game's in the fucking mud. Absolutely disgusting. When are you going to stand up and do something about this? When are we going to stop listening to Jamie Carragher, Michael Owen and Gary Neville talking nonsense? This is a disgrace. It's another game ruined by VAR. Absolute joke. Reece James is fouled. He's fouled before the cross comes in. How has that been given? Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. Another game ruined in the favour of a team that doesn't need help. They're the best team in the fucking world and you're helping them. Absolute joke. It's disgusting. Absolute joke. The inconsistency is a disgrace. And here he comes, Haaland. Bottom corner. I tell you what, it makes you want to throw up. It really makes you want to throw up. How Manchester City fans and players can be fisting the air like they're winning anything. I'm disgusted by this season. The Fulham offside goal given. The Højlund foul on Rodri a couple of weeks ago, penalty. That one, penalty. Kovacic should have been sent off twice. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible how VAR is helping Man City this season. Did they not see the league last year? 115 charges, won the treble last year, and they're helping Man City win things. Absolutely incredible. And what I find funny is, Haaland's never getting this ball. He's never getting on the end of that cross. Never getting on the end of that cross in a million years. He's never getting on the end of it. Poch can't believe it. Reece James is fouled before it. Haaland's holding on to Cucurella's shirt before it. And he's never getting on the end of it. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible at this point. Jack says Haaland was holding the defender, which made it get in absolute disgrace. Jack, all I said, and I'm sure everybody agreed, at the start of this game was, we don't want VAR ruining this game. And lo and behold, game of the week again, they fucked it up. Who's the dickhead on VAR? Because we need to know. Who's on VAR again? Who is on VAR? They seem to want to make the worst decision. Like, it's a soft penalty at best. Don't give it. It wasn't a clear and obvious mistake by Anthony Taylor. He didn't give it. They've gone searching for a soft penalty again. And on top of that, Reece James is fouled just before. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It's a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. And I just don't know what we can do. I do not know what we can do at this point. Anthony Taylor did give the penalty, apparently. He did give it. Well, they're never going to change their mind then. I didn't realise he'd given it. They'll never change their mind. They'll back the referee. I'm really sorry, Chelsea. I didn't realise that. If we've got any Chelsea fans watching, if he gave the penalty, you've got absolutely every right to be fuming, because we know the history of Anthony Taylor and Chelsea. And that is a disgrace. In a game of this magnitude, to be giving decisions like that, disgusting. I would be so happy if City play passing Haaland, De Bruyne a masterclass, but this is a disgrace. It wasn't even reaching the header. It's a disgrace, Vivek. It is. We can add on another charge after this season for bringing VAR. This is getting mad, says Linus. Jack, welcome to the Members Club. Another favourable decision in City's favour. It's almost as if the owners pay their current referees to ref in the UAE, says Prem. Well, he's been there. Anthony Taylor was there. Google search. Anthony Taylor was over there in April. Saudi Arabia or something. This needs investigation, says Prathamesh. The amount of favours City are getting is just unbelievable. Need to check the PJML, Howard Webb as well. So sickening, always City. I don't understand how this happens every single week. Haaland starts it anyway, and Anthony Taylor refereeing a Premier League games. It's a great free kick, and it's a great save by Ederson. It's going in the top corner. And this is the thing about Man City. They're a fantastic side. They don't need help. In the Manchester derby, they get the softest penalty you can believe. In this Chelsea game, another soft penalty. It's almost like VAR when the email goes out. PS, make sure when City play, you look for absolutely everything. Don't have to do it with anyone else. So the Doku nudge isn't a foul, but the Cucurella is a clear foul. Literal contradiction in the same decision, says David. Get in! Chelsea have scored! Fuck off! Injustice! Thiago Silva, the legend of the game. 1-1. That's justice. Pop that in your pipe. I'd go up to Anthony Taylor and I'd kiss his forehead and I'd go, mwah! Have that, you bloody arsehole. Get in. I don't even like Chelsea, but that's justice. 1-1. Come on. What do you think about that, Anthony Taylor? What do you think about that, VAR? Get in. Absolutely fantastic. This is about football fair play here. This is the fans against... This isn't Man City against Chelsea. This is fans against VAR. That is pure justice, jam on toast. It's a great header by Thiago Silva. What a player he is. What a player he is. And it's 1-1. And Haaland's trying to kick him in the air anyway. Give a penalty as well. The game's broken, says Mank in Chicago. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Should be like rugby. The teams get a chance to use VAR. They use it and it's right. They keep the chance. They get it wrong. They lose the chances. Don't mind me. Look at Haaland trying to kick him as well as he headed it. That's some justice for you. The ref should have stayed in the championship, says Bart. But, you know what? Chelsea should be winning 1-0. This is why I hate Man City. VAR is an absolute disgrace. Let's go Chelsea, says Eddie. I guarantee that they've been looking at that to see if they can rule that out. You know what's worse, mate? You said as well before you don't want a big decision from VAR to ruin a game. You know what, Jake? I actually think these referees now enjoy it. I think they wake up on a Monday morning and they're disappointed if they don't get mentioned. I think they absolutely enjoy it. I'll tell you what, this has got the crowd going though, because they've had an injustice and then an equalizer. So they'll be getting up for this now. Could be a cracking game now. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Lovely play by Chelsea, but Cucurella, it's got a good intensity, this game now. I like Thiago Silva. I've always liked him anyway. But what a player he is. 92, and he's playing like that. Well, look, we'll see it at half-time. I'll have to look at that again. But I'm convinced that Reece James gets fouled before. Still a massive job for Chelsea. I mean, look, let's respect Man City. They don't need help. I think this is why people get pissed off. Man City don't need free fucking penalties and offside goals. They've had 2 soft penalties this season. They've had a player kept on twice when he should have had a red card. And they've had a... What a goal this is going to be. Side netting from Haaland. And they've had an offside goal given to them as well. It's incredible. When you count it up, what Man City have had given to them this season, it's incredible. The thing for me is that I feel like we talk more about the refs and decisions than actually about the games. Exactly, Robert. Absolutely. Exactly. Anthony Taylor's just been given a message in his ear to give another soft penalty to City. He's got plenty of time to do it, Robbo. Fans will be silenced by anyone regarding refs, says Mason Smith. Oh, mate. What's this? Psychic bridge. I'm getting the words. Carragher will say the referees had a good game. People are just going over the top about PJMOL. We need to start respecting the decisions. Nonsense. We want consistency. Last week, Gabriel is not fouled with a push in the back. This week, Haaland gets a penalty for a tiny little touch for a ball he was never going to win. They can't win because they contradict themselves, but they try to win with nonsense. Stupid. Good play by Disasi. Oh. Let's hope we get some good football now and not any more stupid decisions. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. It's a massive game, of course. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on That's Football. I'm on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight. Some big news on the United Stand, actually, about what's going to happen with Sir Jim. So we'll be talking about that at 8 o'clock. You can join me on the United Stand for that. And also, we've not... The stats are on the screen there. Very equal game so far. But I still think Man City have got a chance. And here is Foden. What? Oh, I thought it was in. That post must be bloody invisible. Must be a hologram. I'm right behind that. I've just realised all you are as well. I'm not at the ground. This shot by Foden, I think this is going in. Watch it. Oh, just brushes the post. Glad Chelsea equalised. Thoughts on Jalé, Mark? As an Aussie fan, I'm glad to see him representing, but don't know if he's up to the Premier League level. Says Man U in Melbourne. I don't know who you're talking about, mate. I thought you meant like when you said Jalé, I thought you meant those things that posh blokes wear in the autumn. You know, the coats with the arms cut off, the body warmers. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm rooting for Chelsea with all my heart, says Maxi. City are cheating prats. So thank you very much, mate. I think Man City are looking. Well, they're so the thing about Man City is they're so used to these sort of situations, and they look to me like they're going to score. Chelsea are very much on the counter here. Watch Haaland on this. He literally tries to kick Thiago Silva. Watch what Haaland does here. Oh no, he doesn't. He didn't. VAR looking for more staff, Mark. Throw your hat in, says Danny. I wouldn't go and work with those prats. I wouldn't last 5 minutes, mate. I couldn't work with people who don't understand the game. Be the most. I'd be the one. I'd rather. What's a horrible job? I'd rather go and clean Piers Morgan's shit, wipe his arse, than work for VAR. Imagine being told what to do by them complete and utter novices. I'd say, yeah, all right then, let's go and play five-a-side first, and I bet they wouldn't even know what to do. Can anyone deny that for some reason the oil money teams that have governed influence keep getting decisions made for them, says Luke? I think that there are so many teams this season that have been victim of bad decisions. You know, there's no doubt that Wolves, Brighton, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, just to name a few, and there will be plenty more teams that have had some really shocking decisions for them. But Manchester City this season, I can't even think of one bad decision they've had. Get in! It's 2-1! It's Raheem Sterling! Put that in your pipe and smoke it! Defensive errors at the back by Manchester City. Reece James picks it up. Not literally, that would be a handball. Crosses it across the face of goal. And Raheem Sterling, against his former club, will not score an easier goal against his former club if he plays till he's 29, which he already is already. That's a fantastic goal for Chelsea. It's defensive disarray from Manchester City. It's just a long, hopeful ball that they don't deal with. It finds its way to Palmer, who tries to play in Reece James. I think Vardiel gets it stuck under his feet. That's not going to be offside. It can't be offside because there's a defender in the way. It's 2-1. I think it's Vardiel, look. He just gets stuck under his feet. Kyle Walker's going for an offside. I can't see how that is offside unless I'm an idiot because the ball, yeah, Raheem Sterling's behind the goalkeeper and behind Vardiel, so it's onside. It has to be a goal. 2-1. Mark, you're the GOAT, says ASMR. 2-1. Chelsea. Well, I'd take a draw. I said that I'd take a draw. If Chelsea could get a win, even better. That puts Chelsea, by the way, into the top half of the table. They're not scroll down FC anymore. 18 points Chelsea would have if they can win. I still think Chelsea can get in the top 4 race. If Man United can be in a top 4 race, then Chelsea can be. But there'll be more goals in this game. And here's Phil Foden. He's gone for a shot like this before. Alvarez! Oh, cleared away. There'll be more chances like that. There'll be more chances like that. Quick question. Chelsea winning. Which Chelsea player gets sent off, says Craig. Yeah. I'd watch out for that. I think we've only seen the first act of VAR in this game. There will definitely be more. This is what I said this afternoon, though. Football is a great sport, isn't it? I love the game because on Monday, I wanted Spurs to beat Chelsea. Today, I desperately want Chelsea to beat Man City. It's just such a great game, isn't it? Because you can watch a game, and game to game, you can want different people to win. It's fantastic. I never want Man City to win. I don't think there's a team Man City can play in world football that I'd want them to win. Why do Newcastle and City get the good TV time, says Flynn. Look, Newcastle was a really interesting story, but last night I'm getting ready to go out and I'm in my bedroom and I put the TV on and the 5:30 game is Newcastle-Bournemouth. And I said to the cat that was lying on the bed, he don't really care, but I needed someone to talk to. I said, I can't believe they're on the telly again. And he just sort of looked at me and went, and I thought, you know what he's trying to say if he could talk? I can't fucking believe it either. I can't believe how often Newcastle are on the telly. And they're not actually a really good team to watch yet. Chelsea got a 3v2. Can they make it work? Reece James into Sterling. Bad, you see. Bad. Enzo. Chelsea need to calm down here because they're getting the chances on the break. Rodri. He's going to lose it. Cucurella. He's done well. It's a good game. It's a good game. Even Liverpool marks as Jake Jones. Oh, Liverpool fans will want Chelsea to win. Arsenal fans will want Chelsea to win. It's nothing to do with liking Chelsea. It's just because everybody wants Man City to drop points. The more points Man City drop, you take your chances against Chelsea. You don't want Man City winning games. You do not. Everybody will want Man City to lose, which is something that Man City fans should take as a compliment. But, yeah, no one's going to want City to win because they're just so dangerous. Sterling into the box, shoots wide. Just in relation to City as well, their next few games, of course, we mentioned straight after the international break, they're at home to Liverpool. Then they are... No, come on. I don't want to look at individuals. I want to look at Man City's next few fixtures. Thank you. They've got Liverpool at home after this. Then they've got Spurs at home, which is looking like it might be an easier game now because Spurs look really nowhere near as good with the injuries that they've got. So they've got Liverpool at home, then they've got Spurs at home, then they've got Villa away. So the next 3 games for City... Oh, hold on a minute. Chelsea into Jackson. He's got to go... What are you doing, mate? You're playing like Michael Jackson. He's got his feet going... Thriller, just pass it to your right. Oh, my God. If City go and score here, they are going to score here. What a save by Sanchez. My God. That save's brilliant. Haaland's through. Bullet shot with his left foot. Sanchez gets down low with his right hand. Keeps it out. This game's end-to-end at the moment. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That would have been on Jackson. That would have been on Jackson, that would. It's a good game now. See, VAR, piss off. We're actually having a good game. You know what VAR can do? Someone lock it in a cupboard. Lock them in a cupboard for a couple of hours. Keep them out of it. This game could be anything. I think we're going to get a cracker. We're going to be talking about how great the Premier League is for once and not VAR. Oh, Michael Jackson at the other end there. He's got a 3v3. The ball to the right, and he tries to nutmeg the player in front of him. He's doing this stuff with his feet. Woohoo! You know, he's trying to do this. Woo! Chambon! Just bloody pass the ball and move. Keep it simple. I'm getting excited about this. I don't know whether you are. Sterling can't get in the England squad, but Henderson playing in front of 300,000 is a joke. Hey, Dazzo, I've had my say on that at the start of the video. Take a breath. Have a walk. This is a cracker. This is what we love it. We love it. Good play by Palmer. Into Sterling. I tell you what, Sterling's had a good game as well. Oh, he's just megged Doku. What a run by Sterling. Jackson. Oh, get out of his way. Miss Ella says, I've got a feeling the second half's going to be a thriller. Yeah, I wouldn't rule anything out here. I think we could get a red card, another dodgy penalty. I think something... I mean, wouldn't it be nice for what... It's funny. This is what I always think as well. It's funny. If there's going to be a red card, we all assume it'll be a Chelsea player, don't we? They're winning 2-1. It's at Stamford Bridge, and yet we all assume the red card will be a Chelsea player. Because it very rarely is a Man City player, is it? You never see that happen to Man City. And I don't think it's because they're well disciplined or they don't make fouls. Very equal game, though. Natalia says, this is a very good game. It's a very good game. It is. Mark, I was talking about Jared Gillet, the ref. He's on VAR for this game. Happy he's in the Prem, but not sure he's up to this level, says Man United. Well, he's not done a very good job here. He should have overruled that penalty. We'll see it again in about 2 minutes because we're nearly at half-time. Chelsea just need to get to half-time here. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up is a fantastic effort. Here's Doku. He's got the skill. He's got the strength. Palmer there, just a little bit erratic, sticking his foot out. Doku could have gone down. It's gone for a corner. Chelsea fan here, safe to say the boys are back. It's not safe at all, Mr. Best Version. It's not safe at all. He's a bit lucky here, Palmer. Look, he goes for it. Very lucky. He's kicking out all over the place. That's a bit... Keep your head. Keep your head. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're on That's Football. Fantastic community. What a cross. What a goal. 2-2. I mean, that's just shocking defending. Absolutely shocking defending from Chelsea. For all the players they've got in their team there. How are you conceding a goal like that? I'm disappointed by that. Absolutely shit defending from Chelsea. What are they doing? Yeah, it's a lovely cross. You know, it's an absolutely brilliant cross by Bernardo Silva, and Akanji ain't going to miss from there. Yeah, just a really good header. You can't argue with that. Pep will go in at half-time, very happy. Poch can't believe it. Yeah. It's just bad marking, really. Look, sometimes you just got to acknowledge it. It's a lovely, lovely cross by Bernardo Silva. This is the quality that Manchester City have. And they'll have it again in the second half. Only takes a second. Conor Gallagher gets the ball here. I don't know what someone's diving around for. Let's have a look. Diaz. There's nothing in that. Premier League, in many respects, is the best team in the league, but gets ruined by corruption. It's getting to points where it's hard to love, says Isaac. And, hi Mark, out of all the Premier League managers, who would you like to go home with for a beer? Can we just go to a pub, Stewie? I don't really want to take them home. I'd like a beer with Sean Dyche. Yeah, Shub. Yeah, I would like a beer with Sean Dyche. I don't think I'd be interested in having a beer with Pep, to be honest. Klopp. I think Klopp would be a good beer, actually. I think Klopp would be a good beer. Maybe Ange as well. I don't think Poch or Pep. I mean, obviously, selfishly, I'd like to go and just have a good chat with Ten Hag. I don't know whether he'd be a good night out, though. Still 3 minutes to go here. It's got... Who knows what's coming? Balance of play. Draw at half-time is probably about fair. Having said that, I think maybe it's not. City's goal shouldn't have stood. Do you think Chelsea can win this, says Eddie? It's about belief, mate. Man City have been in these situations so many times. They know what they're doing. For Chelsea, it's about... You know, they're still at the start of their journey. Have they got the mentality for this? I'd still say City win. Oh, Sterling, not there. Not there. That's bloody terrible by Raheem Sterling. What's he doing trying to take people on in his own half? Well, we'll get a good look at the penalty at half-time, won't we? James wants me to do an impression of Ten Hag in the pub. How about a beer with Ten Hag? Yeah, well, I would have one, yeah. Wow, got nearly 30,000 watching. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's certainly a cracking game. You can't deny that. And I'm sure the second half is going to be much the same. I just don't want to see any red cards. And I don't want to see another stupid VAR either way. Man City have already had that. Anthony Taylor. Chelsea fans, talk to me. What are your thoughts? I mean, you are terrified every time Anthony Taylor referees a Chelsea game. And why is he getting games? Like, the Premier League can avoid giving certain teams referees. And I think Chelsea in the past have asked not to have Anthony Taylor. So it's surprising that they've given him such a big game because there is a bit of history there, whether you think it's legitimate or not. Just seems weird, arrogant almost to give him these sort of games. Poch is heading down the tunnel. He's seen enough. We're about to hit half time here. That's the half time. They're the stats. We'll talk about those in a moment. Can you keep up, baby boy? He's not blown up yet. He's still not blowing up. We've had 6 minutes. He's still going. Here's Conor Gallagher into Raheem Sterling. Little touch into Jackson. And he wins a corner. Chelsea need a striker. I've said it so many times. Pick a United player to have a beer with, says Samuel. Ten Hag walks into a bar and says, says Lee Fletcher. They need to put this cross in the box because it's a terrible cross. Ederson gets hold of it on the back post. That is half-time. And what a half of football it's been. Have to applaud the entertainment. No doubt about that. But you can't not hold shirt with both hands. It's a penalty, says Blue Moon. No, it's not. We'll have a look at it at half-time. Right, what are your thoughts there on that half? We've seen 3 legitimate goals and a very, very controversial goal given, as I said. But let's have a look at the stats. They were momentarily on the screen a moment ago. Let me just pause it there for the moment. So, look, Man City have had more possession, 59%. Shots on target, 5 each. Corners, 3 each. Pass completion, Man City's obviously a lot better. I think Chelsea can be very happy with that half. 2-2 at half-time. They're very much in the game. Man City are playing well. I think Chelsea have to be very, very happy, especially after giving a penalty away in contentious circumstances, which we'll see the replay in a moment. But no, I think Chelsea have to be very, very happy with that. They've shown character to come back. The equaliser from Man City is just a very good goal. It's a disappointing goal to concede from Chelsea's point of view, but 2-2 at half-time is probably about right. It all is about mentality in the second half now. I think Manchester City are just so well versed in dealing with these sort of games, and they will keep probing and probing until they win the game, and they will be firm favourites to win it. Chelsea have got to switch on and believe and concentrate, because if they don't, Man City will score the next goal and they will go on and win the game 4-2. It would be fantastic for the league if City didn't win today, but I would still think that City will be the team that comes through this in the end. But I've been impressed with Chelsea, and I think the thing about Chelsea is that worries me, because Man United are playing them soon at Old Trafford, is that they do have a midfield that is starting to click. We spoke about Liverpool, didn't we, and how Klopp has rebuilt that midfield in 2 months and got them right up the league. I think the midfield is just, it's the core. It's the core. Everything in the middle, it tends to be the most important. And it's the core of the team, the midfield. And Chelsea do have a wonderful collection of options in that midfield. When you've got Casido, when you've got Enzo Fernandez in that midfield, then you've got a chance. And at the moment, Conor Gallagher's doing really, really well as well. They will have other options to come. I mean, people forget that Chelsea have got people like Nkunku and Lavia, who've, not really played for them yet, to come back. And there are other options as well. So, look, I think there is an improvement with Chelsea. I believe that Pochettino will improve Chelsea because ultimately, at the end of the day, they're not actually in the top half of the table, I don't think, at the moment. Let me have a look. With the draw, they're just in the top half of the table as it stands. If they lose, they're not in the top half of the table. So Chelsea have got loads and loads and loads of room for improvement. And I'll guarantee you that Pochettino will get them higher in the league. But how high he can take them, I don't think Pochettino can take Chelsea to a title. I think he can take them to the top 4, and if that's what Chelsea want for the next couple of years, that's probably not too bad. I don't see Pochettino as the Chelsea manager in 3 or 4 years. I think they will have to make a change to go to the next level. But I do believe Pochettino will take Chelsea from where they are to a more stabilised attacking side. And I think he will get them in the top 4. So they are building, and they are doing quite well. And I think today, again, like Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, they have done well. Shock, surprise, Man United fan goes against City. Never seen you on bias on a watch-along, says Brad. I don't like Man City. I'm always fair to Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. But Man City, I draw the line because I can respect the fact that they're a good team, but I'm not respecting the fact that they get all the decisions going their way. I've seen Arsenal robbed this year. I've seen Chelsea robbed. I've seen Liverpool robbed. I've seen Spurs robbed. Obviously, I've seen Man United robbed, but I haven't seen Man City in a big game have anything but things go in their favour. Against Fulham, they were given a goal that was offside when it was level, and it changed the whole game. Fulham were playing well. Against Arsenal, you did lose the game, but you should have lost the game by more because Kovacic should have been sent off twice. Against Manchester United, that's not a penalty on Rodri. That's VAR going looking for it. And again today, that's not a penalty on Haaland. That's just a terrible decision. I mean, I thought VAR had gone looking for it. I didn't realise the on-field referee, Anthony Taylor, gave that penalty on Haaland. How can he give it? How can he give it? Has he been living in a fucking cave for a week? Has he not seen everybody saying a push on the back of Gabriel is not a foul? A Premier League panel said a push in the back is not a foul, and he's giving penalties for that on crosses that Haaland's not even going to get on. Now watch this. I think that's a foul on Reece James. To me, Doku fouls Reece James. Haaland's never getting on the end of this cross either. Watch this. That's a foul on Reece James. And then watch this cross. They're grabbing hold of each other's shirt. And then he's not getting on the end of it. It's just not a penalty. They're both grabbing each other's shirt. And then he's not going to get on. He can't get on the end of that cross. Thiago Silva's winning that cross every single day. It's not a penalty. Sorry. And then what they won't show is the fact that Reece James got kicked by Doku as well. That's my problem with Manchester City, is the fact that they're doing and getting decisions all the time. I haven't done a poll because I wanted to wait till half time so we could all see it again. But was it a City? Was it a pen for City? A pen for City. Get your votes in. But look, I tend to go, if I get it wrong, I'll put my hands up. Like, I will. But I thought Reece James was fouled. I thought Haaland was grabbing hold of Cucurella's shirt as well. And he's never going to get on the end of the header anyway. So common sense has to prevail there. It's soft. There's probably a foul on Reece James and he's not getting on the end of it. It's not a penalty. But the big problem everybody will have is that, again, Man City, for the second time in a fortnight, have been given a penalty for somebody barely touching their player, and yet Arsenal last week at Newcastle lose a game because their centre-back gets shoved. That's the problem. And if Man City fans or anyone else who thinks it's a penalty can't see that, well, you're part of the problem because you're being inconsistent. I don't really care. If it's a penalty, I'll say it's a penalty, but it's the inconsistency. It's the inconsistency that bothers me. because Joel Linton pushed Gabriel last week and everybody told us all week it's not a foul. And now we've just seen Haaland not even going to get on the end of the header, going to ground from minimal contact, and it's a penalty. The inconsistency is just appalling. United related, I think our first transfer with Sir Jim will be telling, not in conjunction with the fee, but the amount we pay on wages, says Inbred. I agree, I think they will be low. Mark, as VAR treats Man City like they're playing EAFC, says Martin Saunders. And I quit listening to commentary since I discovered your watch-alongs. I may not be a Man United fan, but I love your content, says Lord. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for that. 80% of you say it wasn't a penalty. Look, I think the best comment I've read in the chat, and I haven't read them all because they whiz by so quickly. This is not about Man City. This is not about the PGMOL. This is not about Chelsea. It's not about Arsenal. It's not about Newcastle. It's not about Spurs. It's not about Liverpool. It's about consistency. And it's always that. Like, it's always that. We just want consistency. And, you know, Man United against Brighton, they said the ball had gone over the line. So it wasn't a goal for Højlund. But they don't have the tech. And against Newcastle, they say, we can't say whether the ball's gone over the line, so we're saying it stayed in. You just contradicted yourself from another game. And Newcastle, Joel Linton pushes him in the back. No, it's not enough for it to be a foul. But that is today. And that's the problem. It's the consistency. The big problem is that, and we've said it before, we've seen some bad decisions in Europe this week as well. In rugby and other sports, you have consistency from game to game, from tournament to tournament, from country to country. And in the Premier League at the moment, every game is being refereed differently. So a shove in one game is a foul, and in another game, it's too soft. A red card is a red card in one game, but in another game, it's not a red card. A handball is a handball in one game, but then, no, he couldn't help it in the other game. And that's not what we want. It's called the Premier League. It's not called Chelsea versus Man City on a Sunday afternoon. Everybody's playing in the same league. Everybody needs to play by the same rules. And what Carragher and everybody else in the PGMOL and Howard Webb don't realise is fans want consistency, and you are depriving them of it every single week. But away from that, that was the goal that started it. After that, we're talking about football. And I hope that that's what's going to happen in the second half, because I, for one, and I'm sure everybody agrees with me, is tired of every big game of the weekend. We've seen Liverpool Spurs, Man United Man City, Newcastle Arsenal. These are the biggest games of the weekend. Chelsea Spurs last week, the biggest games of the weekend being destroyed by VAR. And they very nearly did it in this game. But fair play to Chelsea, 2-1, and then a legitimate equaliser by Man City, which I can't complain about. It's a good goal. We just want to talk about the football. We want to be talking tomorrow morning about whoever wins this game and saying, that's incredible. We do not want to be talking about injustice and poor officiating. And that's what we want. We don't want this anymore. Nobody does. Jose pushed but Carella pulled him down. Maybe there's a difference, says Lord. 2 weeks in a row, Chelsea been done by VAR. Nobody talking about the two reds not given last week because the two players for Spurs were stupid enough to get sent off again anyway, says Keane. Yeah, well, they should have been sent off, yeah. The big thing around City is their 115 charges. Juventus, Everton and Chelsea have fines or points deductions for dodgy business. Where is City's relegation, says Zach. Yeah, well, look, let's see what's going to happen in the second half. How do we think it's going to go in the second half? Because the benches are, well, Chelsea have got lots of quality on their bench. They're just not players who are, consistently performing. Whereas Manchester City have got the likes of Kovacic and Grealish who can come on and make a difference. Certainly Grealish, I think, as well. So I think the experience and know-how of Man City makes them favourites. But look, I would love Chelsea to get something out of this, as I'm sure most people would, because it's good for the Premier League to have a title race. And I think if Man City win here and beat Liverpool after the international break, we haven't got a title race. Ollie says, another referee could say Haaland's pull on the defender to get slightly ahead of him could be a foul to Chelsea, and we wouldn't be surprised. Yes, Ollie, I agree. That's why they shouldn't be giving it, because it's just not clear and obvious that it's a penalty. But the problem is, and I will put my hands up here, I thought VAR had gone looking for it, so I apologise, because I will apologise when I get things wrong. I thought VAR had given the penalty. Anthony Taylor gave the penalty. So they will always stick with the referee on side. We heard it from Gallagher before, didn't we? Was it Dermot Gallagher or... No, it was Mike Dean. in a Chelsea game. I didn't want to make him look, stupid. They'll stick with their mate. I hope City can beat Chelsea tonight. It's like United defeating Luton at home against all odds. A beautiful underdog story, says Yurik. And we could never play like this against City, rolling up with Eriksen and McTominay with Evans and Maguire partnership. No, Mario, I mean, that's a conversation for the United stand, but this is what a lot of United fans feel at the moment. We are nowhere near the quality of that first half that we just saw. Do you think people have switched who they support to United just because you're so great, says Inbred? No, you've got that's football. You don't need to support United at all. But no, I don't think anybody is switching allegiances to support United because they like the content we have. I mean, that would be a mistake anyway, because United are a hard watch and not in a good way. But we've got that's football for that. Look at that league table, though. If it stays like that, we've got a title race. This is why it's so important that Chelsea get something. We've got a title race. If Man City are only a point clear at the top, we've got a title race. And I want a title race. I'm sad for Spurs, but it's falling apart. I almost feel responsible. I said it on the podcast on Friday. Goldbridge Saves Football. Hopefully a lot of you listen to Goldbridge Saves Football. It's out every Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock. I did say that Ange was overrated and it wasn't doing him any good. And I think Spurs are going to fall off a little bit. What Spurs need to do is just try, between now and January, Spurs have got to try and get as many points as they can and stay in that top four race, because they've had such a good start to the season, but they're like Villa. If Villa get a couple of injuries, they're gonna drop. Spurs don't have the squad to do what they're doing if they get injuries. So I really hope Spurs can just grind out a few results. And yesterday they very nearly did. They very nearly won playing badly, but it's a tough league. And Wolves, did get what they deserve in the end. Just Darv, thank you very much for your super chat, by the way. Appreciate those super chats. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I just think there's a foul on Reece James there because Doku gives him a shove and kicks out. I mean, how is that not a foul on Reece James? I thought it at the time. And I don't understand why they don't give the foul on Reece James. I just don't get it. How could anyone think it's appropriate to freelance as Premier League ref in the UAE? These refs clearly have no moral compass, says Nicholas. And your interview is brilliant, Mark. Thank you for all you do, says Xander. Thank you very much, mate. I will do more of those interviews, because it's had such a good feedback, and fair play to Smithy and that channel. But it's blown up massively for them, and I'm really pleased for them. But I will do more of those interviews, because even though it was an hour and we covered so much, it was almost like brushing the surface. I think there's so much I could have gone deeper on, so many different topics. I was surprised how many people were interested in it. So, yeah, and I like doing it. I do like doing it. Slightly dramatic, but at this point, it feels like all results are compromised due to no integrity of the PGMOL, says Mark. Honest opinion, United will finish above Spurs when we get our injured players back, says Emin. Well, no, I don't necessarily agree with that, because people keep talking about when Man United get their players back, when Newcastle get their players back, when Brighton get their players back. But we've had an injury to Højlund, Eriksen and Evans in the last 4 days. So when you get players back, other people get injured. I think this is going to be a problem for United all season. So basically, they've admitted they'll cover for their mates, says Kenneth. Thank you very much. Second half's about to start here. Exciting. And go. We're off. Taylor should be banned from all football. Come on, you Blues. Thanks for the therapy, Mark, says Robin. Look, I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I don't know how it works, but I've known for a while now that they have a real problem with Anthony Taylor, and I don't think he should referee Chelsea games, because it's just not healthy for anyone, is it? No matter who you support in or what league, checking who the officials are before a game to see what sort of tone will be set is awful, says Lee. I know. You switched me from whatever teams had Americans on them to United, says X. Thank you very much. Bradley's talking about Man City and FFP. Ooh, I tell you what, Kyle Walker's wild there. No yellow card, though. Have we had any yellow cards in this game? don't think we have. Oh, we have. Cucurella and Palmer. Yeah, watch out for Cucurella. Watch out for that. I'll hazard a guess that Man City haven't had any yellow cards. Let's have a look. 3, 2, 1. No, of course not. Of course not. They've got a bit of a breakaway, though, Man City here. A 4v3. Foden. Alvarez. Goal. 3-2. That's how you break away in a 4v3. We saw it with Luton last week. We've just seen it with Man City there. That's how you do it. Break away like that. I think it's Alvarez or Haaland who've scored right at the start of the second half. Chelsea defensively are a problem, aren't they? And they've contributed to it themselves here. It's Haaland who actually takes it in. Disasi is out of position, isn't he? Is it Disasi out of position? And then Foden plays it into Alvarez. Yeah, that's a goal. There's no problem with that. Is there any part of the hand helping that go in? Anthony Taylor has lost the prop. Yeah, it's a legitimate goal. There's nothing about that. Haaland's got the goal. Goes in off his arse, to be honest. And it's 3-2. Hard for Chelsea to come back now, I think. I mean, I've got him captain in my FPL. I'm not stupid. But it's just so clinical by Man City. Chelsea had a few of those opportunities in the first half. There's no handball. What are they checking for a handball for? Like, why are they checking for that? He doesn't handball it. There's no handball. Look, even I would say if they give a handball for this, it's ridiculous. You can't give a handball for that. You can't give a handball for that. I don't want City to score, but you can't give a handball for that. What are they even looking at? This is the quality of officiating in the Premier League. They're looking for a handball. It's not going to get given. Hi, Mark. What are your thoughts ahead of Liverpool City in 2 weeks? Do you think we have a chance or at Etihad, or will VAR ruin it? Says Joshua. Well, I'd love to say VAR won't ruin it at the Etihad, but we know what it's like. Only thing will stop the cheats is 115 charges, says Red Army. I mean, it's funny, just before that goal happened, somebody was talking about the 115 charges for Man City, and it's almost like it's become a joke, hasn't it? It's like it's just become banter from fans. It's like nothing's happening with it. Like, when are they going to do something about it? When did they get charged? Was it March this year or the year before? Lovely play by Sterling. Headed away. Oh, Conor Gallagher. Oh, edge of the box. Man City clear it. The handball's not been given, by the way. It was a ridiculous check. To be honest, if they'd given that as a handball, it would have been hitting his elbow when the ball was on the line. And momentum was taking it in anyway. It can't be a handball. Even if it had hit his elbow, I would have said that's ridiculous. You've got to give the goal. It's a legitimate goal by Man City. You know, they are the best team in the world. These things will happen and do happen. Can Chelsea do it? Apparently, Erik ten Hag has had the same start after 12 games that he had last year. 21 games, 12 games, 21 points. Well, Chelsea, I said at half-time they're going to have to get their mentality right in this game, their concentration right, well, they're definitely going to have to now. What do you think about the goal itself? I think Chelsea is it Casido who gets turned by Haaland too easily? I'm not a massive fan of Disasi yet. I don't know whether he's going to grow into being a good centre back, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally convinced about him. Would you rather have Anthony Taylor's hair or Jackson's finishing ability? Says Maguire's mum. I think the problem Man City have now as well. The problem Chelsea's got now is that Man City can just pick them off. Doku slips over, but Bernardo Silva still keeps hold of it. Lovely cross. Headed away. Rodri. Still Rodri. Wow, I mean, Chelsea at the moment are playing like traffic cones. I mean, Man City are just carving them open time and time again. They'll get the 4th goal here and it'll be end of the game. I mean, how is Rodri playing head tennis into the box and then Foden getting a shot off there? It's mentality. That's what it is. Look at this. Look at all the mistakes that are going on now. Just giving the ball away. I mean, they're just... Chelsea are just bottling this here. The mentality in the second half has been... It's almost like their heads are still in the dressing room. Penalty calls should favour the defending side. Defenders should have a right to be physical and defend their goal. Too many are given these days, says David James. We're giving up here, says Efran. There's no doubt Man City are the best team in the world, by the way. I mean, I would not respect that. As a football team, they're fantastic. I think what annoys me is just how many decisions they get go their way. They should be going against them. If they want the Premier League to be interesting and you want to be, you know, doing dodgy decisions, go against Man City. They don't need help. They're already the best team in the league. It just baffles me how Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Brighton, Wolves have all had horrible decisions this season, and Man City have had loads of good ones, and they've just won the treble as well. It's like, what are these officials doing? Why are you giving them the benefit of the doubt when they don't need the benefit of the doubt? Good play by Chelsea here because the Man City press is really, really intense at the moment. Conor Gallagher on the right-hand side into Raheem Sterling. Goes back to Conor Gallagher. Anthony Taylor ruined the Europa League last year. Has a dubious penalty that gets him demoted, only to give a howler last week for Preston, only to get this match, says Thomas. I don't really think Anthony Taylor was actually demoted last week. I don't really think he was. Because he was the 4th official on the Sunday. Casido will be sent off. I bet aggressive with Anthony Taylor as ref, says Zach. Haaland scored for City. He's got 2. Which does help my fantasy Premier League team, to be fair. Lovely ball. Diaz puts it out for a throw-in. Reece James is overrated, says Baby Juice. I like Reece James. I just think somehow he's got to find the ability to play 20 games in a row. I have this feeling with Reece James, and I hope I'm wrong, it's just a prediction. I have this feeling he's going to be injured throughout his career. City coming away again. And Nkunku's not back till January. Oh, here we go. Reece James up against Doku. You don't want to be in this position. And he takes a dive. He's getting booked. I see, that's just a popularity. I don't even agree with that. I don't, you know what, City fans, I don't agree with that. He's just booked Doku. And look, if we're going to book people for diving, let's be consistent. He has dived, but how many times do they get booked for it? And this is another thing, isn't it? I think that's Anthony Taylor just trying to appease himself with Chelsea fans because they never give yellow cards for diving. And I just think it's a token gesture. I think we should be booking people for diving, but we don't do it enough. It was a shocking dive. I mean, how many times have we seen Sterling dive this season and not get booked? He might do it now. Good cross into the box. Edison's there. Come on. Come on. We want more goals here. We want more goals. Basuma got red carded for diving. We didn't get a straight red, did he? Nick P has done something very stupid. He's put Jackson in his team. But, you know, this is something I've noticed over the years as well. Man City make so many fouls that don't get booked, whereas other teams do. What a ball. They're in trouble here. They're in trouble here. Doku up against Disasi. Saved with his feet. Straight at Sanchez. That could have been curtains there. That could have been curtains. Nick has mistakenly put Jackson back into his fantasy team and he's turned back into Janet Jackson. Typical, says Nick P. Well, Chelsea are having to push here, and Man City on the break, I think, at the moment, look more likely to score the next goal of the game. Doku's brilliant. I've been talking a lot about Doku this week with many people, and they were like, oh, use Doku, or, you know, how have Man City got Doku? And the thing is, I remember Doku playing in the... I'm sure it was the Euros. I'm sure he played in the Euros for Belgium. He's coming off now. I'm surprised he's took him off. Very surprised. Yeah, he played in the Euros a couple of years ago, Doku, and he looked really good. So everyone else has got themselves to blame. This is not a brilliant bit of... Well, it is a brilliant bit of business from Man City, but it's not brilliant scouting. Like, people knew about Doku 2-3 years ago. So, again, you got to look at it and go, great bit of business by Man City, but it wasn't like anyone else couldn't have done it. Rivaldo will be king, says Kenneth, of the dives. Good play by Sterling. Wanted a foul, not going to get one against you. Not going to get one with Anthony Taylor. Still half an hour to go, though. Grealish coming on for Doku's interesting. Does that strengthen Man City? He's on a yellow card, Doku, isn't he, for the dive? Yes, but, I mean, that's very careful by Pep. I don't think... What the hell? I don't think... Hi, Mark. If you could take one Arsenal player for United, who would it be? Saka? Or Saliba? Oh, how has Palmer missed that? He's found himself through one-on-one, and that's going to be a yellow card for Casido, I think. Mark, even if Chelsea lose, you can still agree that Chelsea played well, says Eddie. No, they have played well. I mean, look at Palmer here. He sort of finds his way through. And it's a good save by Edison. He's got to go high there. He's got to get a bit of height on it. Lovely play by Palmer. Against his old club, of course. I forgot about that. There's a few, isn't there? Palmer, Sterling. Yeah, Casido did get booked for that. A few of you did predict that Casido would get sent off as well, so... You know what? Casido gets turned very easily, doesn't he? I've seen it a few times. For a midfielder, he does get turned a lot. Grealish. They've got queuing up here. Foden. Straight at the keeper. It's end to end. Up the Villa, says Ryan. Good win again. How many wins is that in a row at home? 17? Incredible. Well, Chelsea are arguing for a decision here, and Man City are breaking away. I don't know what the decision was, but if it goes against them, Taylor's going to be in trouble. I feel there's a City goal coming. I'd love it to be a Chelsea goal, but there's definitely going to be a goal. Dre says Sterling's played really well, but there's no one in the middle. I mean, Jackson's just a bit of a passenger, really, isn't he? Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We've got half an hour to go. Rodri into Haaland on his right foot. Cross, Sanchez is there. Roy's a Chelsea fan tonight. Oh, Jackson just loses the ball. He's such a passenger. I mean, he's just lost you the ball there in a really good position for you that turns into a good position for Man City. It's been. I can't understand why Chelsea spent £1 billion and didn't buy a striker, and it's been their biggest problem for a year, and it's still their biggest problem. They need a striker. You put Erling Haaland in this Chelsea side and give Chelsea Jackson, and I think the game changes. I literally think it's just that one change at the moment. De Zerbi had some great comments post-match today. I don't like 80% of English referees. Check the rest of when you can. Says Anne. He's going to get charged then, isn't he? Gusto and Mudryk coming on. He's got to be taking Jackson off. Taking Enzo off. And Reece James. It's interesting to take Enzo Fernandez. I mean, Chelsea don't play in Europe, do they? I don't know why. Enzo's not even on a yellow card. They can't play full... oh, sorry, XD says they're both coming back from injury, so they can't play 90 minutes. We've just got a break in the play here. Edison has gone down. I don't know why he's gone down. The ball's not really been near Edison for a while. But left ankle. Is the issue. Reece James, yeah. Well, Reece James is always a player he's never fit, is he? He's never fit. It's a squad game these days, though. You know, it is a squad game. You've got to be able to use your squad. But does it, you know, does it weaken Chelsea with Gusto and Mudryk coming on? Here is Mudryk. Nice little ball into Conor Gallagher. He's got to shoot from there. Good save. Goal! Oh, I think he's offside. I think he might be offside. Jackson scored! Jackson scored! I've jinxed him on Twitter and he's bloody scored. I've called him a passenger. He's just took hold of the wheel. It's 3-3. I panic with goals like this. He looked to me like he might have been in an offside position. I hold judgment here. I hold judgment here. They seem happy. Let's watch. It's good play by Chelsea. Conor Gallagher starts it off. Fantastic ball. Then watch Conor Gallagher's movement here. Mudryk is there. Watch Conor Gallagher. It's all about his movement. He drives into the space with the first touch. Hits the shot. He's onside. He's onside. Yeah. Great goal. 3-3. Goal. Miles onside. And he's made it 3-3. Can I just shock you? I like Jackson, despite what I first said. What a game. 3-3. Fantastic. He took it well as well. Arise Janet, you bloody legend. Nick P's got him in his team for Fantasy Premier League. And it's 3-3. Well, I don't think that's where it ends either. Grealish into Bernardo Silva. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. I'm telling you now, that's a penalty. I can't believe Anthony Taylor's not given it. That's a penalty. Disarcy's hands are up. He's blocked it with his hand. I'm absolutely convinced that's a penalty. I mean, look, I'm not convinced because I haven't seen the replay, but to me, that looks like it's a penalty. And I don't want it to be. I don't want City to win, but I've got to say, it looked like one. Let's see. I'm watching the referee here. A lot of people saying it looked like a penalty. Here it is. Oh, it's his head. Good call. Good call. Well, I don't know who I'm saying good call to. The Glazer family and Ineos are in the process of finalising the agreement for 25% stake. Yep, Havard, thank you. Yeah, it did look like it hit his hand because his hand was up, but it hit his head. He's got 4 goals this week. Jackson, says Kaiser. Which way is this going to go, everybody? It could go either way. Palmer's down the right-hand side here. Gusto's in his way. Conor Gallagher. Casido. I tell you what, Conor Gallagher is really, really getting better, isn't he? At Chelsea. He's become such an important player. Considering they were thinking about selling him, he's become such a good player. Is it the best game of the season, Mark? I think it is. I think it has to be. 6 goals, 20 minutes to go. Ignoring this stupid penalty, I think it is. I think it's been a cracking game. Cracking advert for the game. Lovely ball into Gusto here. Mark, does this remind you VAR helped Man City this season just like Lifeline, who wants to be a millionaire, says Undertaker. Palmer's done well here. Oh, he's unlucky. He's unlucky there. Haaland for the hat-trick, says Joshua. You wouldn't count against it. Can I just say as well, I will say, because it's on the screen next to me, big shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring the stream. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Alvarez. Cross comes in, goes for a corner. Yeah, trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. They've also got the hedge trimmer for your stubble. The handyman, which is this, for travelling around when you want a really close shave. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code footy. Fantastic products at Manscaped. That's the hedge trimmer. Listen to that. 11 different lengths. That goes on your face, by the way. It's very, very good. Very, very quick as well. Links in the description, or you can scan that QR code on your camera phone. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code footy. Fantastic products with Manscaped. Big shout out to them for sponsoring the stream. He's got to book Rodri there. He's got to book Rodri there. If Anthony Taylor didn't book him there, we'd be in so big trouble. Rodri booked. I'll tell you what, I'm sure Liverpool would love to see a Man City player sent off, wouldn't they, actually, just thinking about it. We've hit 30,000 watching. Incredible here. We're in for a very, very good 20 minutes, that's for sure. I would take a point here. I mean, Chelsea will want to win, Man City will want to win, but I would happily take this. Sanchez playing out from the back. I just don't know why teams do this. It's good playing out back from the back, but Conor Gallagher just decides to blast it. JR says, I'm really proud of my team no matter what happens. Handball! 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 Referee! He blocked it with his bloody hand. How's he not seen that? It's not in the box. It wouldn't have been a penalty, but Kyle Walker blocks Edison's pass with a hand, so it would have been a free kick on the edge of the box. I don't think it was in the box, so VAR can't do anything about it. VAR doesn't control free kicks. That's on the referee. He can't go back for a free kick. Handball. They don't review that. Good tackle. Oh, Chelsea just can't get out at the moment. Here we go. Oh, good tackle by Akanji on the break. Conor Gallagher again. Oh, he's overhit that, surely. Cucurella will keep it in. Nice play by Gusto. Raheem Sterling trying to... he's got to pass that there. You've got to pass that, Raheem. He's got it now. He's got to pass it. He's got to pass it. Gusto. I've got him in the fancy Premier League, you twat. What a twat. That was my moment. That was my bloody moment. Oh. Oh. I've got him in the fancy Premier League team. He's fucking one-on-one. And he's put it over the bar. Can't believe it. Oh, forget it. I quit. I quit. That's a joke. Not only would Chelsea be winning 4-3, but bloody my bastard fancy Premier League team. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And now he's gone down injured. He's probably going to get subbed off, isn't he, now? What a prat. Could have scored, and now he's got himself injured. You wouldn't have got injured if you'd scored. You'd still be celebrating. You'd be having a hug with bloody Palmer. This is the handball. It's outside the box, and it is a handball. How the linesman's not seen that, by the way. Look. How hasn't the referee seen it? You know what, as well? If you're a referee and the whole ground goes handball and it's outside the box, you pretty much know it's a handball. Why did Gusto shoot with his left foot? I don't know. I thought he was right-footed. Definitely not fucking left-footed, is he? Kovacic coming on against his old club. It's raining in London. It's raining everywhere, mate, in the UK at the moment. It's horrible weather. Horrible weather. Big show on the United Stand tonight at 8 o'clock, by the way. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to rain all week. Which way is this going to go? I still think City. Good play by Bernardo Silva on that wing. Cross is good. Headed away. 13 minutes to go. How long's De Bruyne out for, says YB? I don't know. It's hard to get news on City because they haven't got any fans. Like, we don't get many City fans in the chat. So I don't know if we know how long he's out for. But look, Chelsea should be winning that. That's a great chance with Gusto. Somebody just said in the chat, how are Chelsea this strong? Here's Grealish. Bernardo Silva. Disasi clears it away. Look, Chelsea played very well against Arsenal. They should have beat Arsenal. They were 2-0 up. They should have won. Arsenal fight back against Chelsea was fantastic a few weeks ago. This is not a surprise from Chelsea. They just need a striker. Well done, Sterling. And then he's fouled him. Yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is not going to be back till January or February. What did he do? What did he do? I thought he only did like a hamstring. Was it like an ankle or something there? Kevin De Bruyne is probably going to have a lot of injuries for the rest of his career now. It's a crap ball by Sanchez. Glazers and Ineos are finalising an agreement for the sale of 25% of Man United. Well, we all know this. We don't need deep... As much as I respect David Ornstein, we do know all this. 10 to go. Which way is this gonna go? It's in the balance. Oh, if Kovacic scores, it would be horrible for Chelsea, wouldn't it? What's the plans with Chelsea, and are they actually ever going to get a new stadium? Because it feels like 20 years Chelsea have been talking about moving. And I've been to Stamford Bridge a few times, and it really is... it's a nice stadium, but is Mudryk. It's a nice stadium, Chelsea, but it's very confined. Like, if you've never been to Stamford Bridge and you look at it on the telly, you wouldn't realise that outside it's really got no space around it at all. It's a cosy stadium, yeah. There's nothing, they can't do anything with it, is what I'm trying to say. They can't make it bigger. Maybe taking off Doku wasn't the best idea. He was creating problems, says Shahin. Yeah, I was surprised by it. I still think this game can go either way. Here's City on the attack. De Bruyne hamstring surgery, 4 months, says Logan. Mark, do you miss going to live games with United? Says Viking. Yeah, you can't beat live football. And especially if you're like me, I love football, so I love watching football. And the great thing about being at a game is there's nothing better than being at a game sat on the halfway line about in the second tier. Because then you've got that perfect side-on view. And whilst Bernardo Silva's got the ball now, I can't see what Thiago Silva and Haaland are doing. So when you're at a live game, you can watch the ball, but you can also, you've got a full view of the pitch, so you can follow things. I mean, I used to love going when I was a young lad because you could just follow things that were going on. Like if you wanted to play centre-back or stuff, you can just monitor. You know, I used to find myself watching games going and just watching the centre-back or the holding midfielder and watching them off the ball. So you can't beat live football. Cucurella wins the throw-in. It's really raining. It's really raining. Are you going to go to Goodison this year? I'd love to go to Goodison this year, Cog, but I think it's going to be very hard to get tickets because I think, is it the last time? I mean, United are playing Goodison. That's the next one after the international break, and I would go. If I could get a ticket, I'm going to go because I think it's the last time. Everton fans can tell me, but when are you moving? It's definitely not snowing, Renate. It's not cold enough in UK to snow at the moment. How was the party, says Jay. It was good. It was good. And I tell you what, I've been drinking red wine recently, and I can have a few glasses of red wine, and I wake up the next morning and I feel fine. Red wine's got me so fine. Last night I was on the lager, and I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and oh, my head was really, really sore. So it's funny how different drinks can make people feel different ways. Like I know people who drink red wine and they end up with a headache. Lovely turn by Kovacic. Out to Grealish. I just feel I'm going to be saying, and that's brilliant by Man City, and that's why they're the best team in the league. I just feel we're going to get that moment. I don't want to get that moment, but I feel we will. Anyway, that's gone out for a goal kick, so we won't get that moment at the moment. I don't drink Baby Sham, PJ. I don't think anyone drinks Baby Sham anymore, do they? It'd be cruel if City win it this late anyway. It won't be cruel if Chelsea win it. It's only cruel if City win it with 5 minutes to go. It'd be cruel on Chelsea. It's not cruel on City. It's not cruel on City if they lose, though. They can deal with it. I always liked Kovacic, though. Kovacic with the shot, edge of the box. Goal. Fucking hell. Who scored that? They don't... It's Rodri again, isn't it? They just don't need this. The amount of times this happens with City. Rodri, absolute banger. You can't compete against this. You cannot compete against this. It's just unbelievable. Chelsea have scored 3 goals against them, And they've still come out with this. They're just so, this is why people get annoyed by the lack of action with 115 charges. This is why people get annoyed when they get soft penalties and goals given that are offside, because they don't need any help. They just don't need any... Oh, it's deflected as well. I thought he'd hit it in. It's deflected off Thiago Silva. But they don't need any help. They don't need any help. They're that good. They don't need any help. Well, I think they're going to win. They've done it. No one wanted him to win, apart from City fans. And the difference, if it stays 4-3, will go back to the very first goal. It will be that penalty call that is the difference in this game, whether we like it or not. The first goal, although they might get another one here. No, they won't. No, they won't. 86th minute, they've scored that goal as well. It's disappointing. It's disappointing, but it's not a surprise. They're a very, very, very good side, and they get a very, very good rub of the green as well. Chelsea can take... I mean, I think at some point Chelsea are going to start climbing the league. The sad thing for them is they're still scroll down FC. They're on page 2. Things will improve for Chelsea at some point, but you know, they should have beat Arsenal at home. They drew 2-2. They should have probably got a point here. They're going to looking at it. They're probably going to lose. They just can't kick-start their season at the moment, Chelsea. Chelsea will win at Old Trafford. Well, Martin, I was just thinking that. When will Chelsea kickstart their season? Probably at Old Trafford. Because with that midfield, I think they'll do quite well. I mean, City have... I mean, he's bringing Broha on now. If Liverpool don't beat City, I don't really see... It's a hard game, though, the Etihad. It's a very hard game for Liverpool, really. They're capable of doing it, but it'll be a hard game. If it was at Anfield, I think they'd win, but... Is there anything left for Chelsea? Where are Chelsea in the league at the moment? I think they're 11th. They're definitely not in the top page. As things stand at the moment, Chelsea are 11th. Yeah, 15 points, 11. Man City have got double the points of Chelsea. They're on 30. Chelsea are on 15. Next few games for Chelsea after the international break, they're away at Newcastle. Then they're at home to Brighton. And then they're away to Man United. So the games don't get any easier for Chelsea. And the Glazers think that isn't acceptable, says Lindo. Do you think City will be found guilty of some or most of those charges, says Steve. I think with regards to those charges that Man City have got, I've got no faith that the Premier League are competent. So I don't think anything will happen. And Man City have got massive amounts of money. So I don't think anything will happen to Man City. But what would be nice is to get some sort of clarity on it because nothing seems to be happening with it. Just got back from the Brighton match. Once again, the refereeing was awful. When will they finally be sorted? They earn so much more money for doing nothing, says Kind Killer. I haven't seen anything from the Brighton game yet, but I've heard that De Zerbi went mad, so I will certainly have a look at that, and more than happy to bring it into the podcast on Tuesday morning. I've not caught up on all the games yet. But it certainly seems like some teams are serial victims and some teams are serial winners when it comes to VAR. And I think before VAR, you used to have that saying, it balances itself out. But I don't think it does balance itself out anymore. I think there are certain teams that... penalty! He's given it! Penalty to Chelsea! He's given a penalty. It is a penalty as well. Shut up, Grealish. Shut up, Ruben. Definitely a penalty to me. No messing around. He's got that right. They've got to score it, though. They've got to score it. Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans. Yeah, it's a penalty because he's won the ball, but then the follow-through has took him out. Look, he controls it. Good tackle by Ruben Day. Oh, I don't know. Well, it's a penalty anyway. He takes him out. 100% penalty. You know, there's absolutely no debate on this. He does get a bit of the ball, but he gets a hell of a lot of the player. You could blame it on the rain. Should be a breakaway league, says Alex. There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on here. I don't know. Look at the City crowding the referee here. They should be getting more charges for this. They've got to score it. They better score it. Exactly. Like Baby says, they've got to score this. It's all right saying, I think Palmer takes them as well. It's all a lot of pushing and shoving going on here. But they've got to score the penalty. That's the big thing. Can you score the penalty? Big, big moment. Big, big delay. I don't know. I mean, look, I'm probably like everybody else. I just want them to score here. I keep calling him Carlton Palmer. Cole Palmer, formerly of Man City. You know what? The way this game's gone, I reckon he's going to miss. I'm just going to say it. I've got a feeling he's going to miss. He's probably took a few penalties against Edison in his time. I've got a bad feeling he's going to miss. I don't know why I'm nervous. Well, it's because I want a title race. I don't want the... Oh, what a penalty! We shouldn't have doubted him. He's loving it. He's gone like that. He's got the balance, and that is a cracking goal. It's a cracking penalty the way he's took it. There's still 4 minutes to go here. There could be another twist in the tail. Chelsea deserve a point here today. 100% deserve a point today. 4-4. Game of the season. No doubts. No doubts. Easy. Game of the season. No doubt. Magnificent entertainment. This is what we want from football. We don't want fucking VAR. Lovely penalty as well. Reminds me of me on my left foot. It's just the way he's done it. Look at that. It's just, you put it in a place where a keeper can't save it. 4-4. They deserve something from this game, Chelsea. And they're gonna, hopefully they're gonna get it. We don't know. There's probably 4, maybe 5 minutes here. There was a lot of pushing and shoving in the box. No doubt on the penalty, by the way. Absolutely none. I don't care whether that had gone the other way. It's a penalty. He's 4-4, eh? 4-4. 8-goal thriller at Stamford Bridge. Jackson's gone off. I think he got himself booked again. Jackson must nearly be on 10 yellow cards in game week 12. How many yellow cards has he got, Jackson? I mean, it's incredible. We're into unknown territory now because we're in the 96th minute with 8 added on, but I suspect that there might be another 5 or 6 on top of the 8. Oh, Cucurella's jumped out of a tackle here. Foden. Ooh, Sterling. He's going to give him a yellow. Could have been a red. Could have been a red. Yellow. Could have been a red, that. Sterling. Oh, it's probably a red. I think that's a red. I do. I mean, like, I don't want it to be, but I think it's out of control. And in this weather as well. It's a Brexit tackle, says Pima. I mean, it's a dangerous place for a free kick. I mean, Foden's up. It was an 80s tackle, that's for sure. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if this went in. Was it the same as Havertz? Well, no, he wasn't off the floor. It wasn't off the floor. And the weather probably made it look worse, but it wasn't off the floor, but it was wild. In fairness to Sterling, though, in this weather, there is a really big temptation to slide. I'm with you, can't think. This is scoreable. Don't forget, I'm live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight as well, so please do tune in for that. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to my bed tonight as well. I'm tired. Late bridge last night. Kyle Walker probably hits this. Over the bar. Someone just said it's last kick of the game. It's not last kick of the game. There's still plenty of time here. We've gone past the 8 minutes into the 98th minute. But I still think there's probably 4 or 5 minutes to go here. I'm going to do a match reaction for this afterwards as well. I'll record a quick 10 minutes because I think it just thoroughly deserves it as a game of football. 37k viewers is mental. Are we on 37k? Bloody hell. 37,500 people watching. Make sure you click and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. This is the community to be part of. Love it. Daily content on That's Football and, of course, watch-alongs, although for the next couple of weeks there won't be any watch-alongs because I don't watch shit international football. But next Saturday all day I am streaming a charity watch-along. I do it every year, raising money for people with terminal illness through the Marie Curie Centre. Done it for the last few years. We've raised over 100 grand. So if you're about on Saturday and you want to pop in for a couple of hours or all day, some people just do it all day with me to be part of it. Next Saturday, all day stream. Put it in your diary. We'll be doing a bit of FIFA. We do a bit of everything, really. You know, we do a bit of everything. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Cole Palmer and Sterling scored against Man City. This game made my day. Come on, Chelsea. Build from the game, says JR. Well, it doesn't get any easier for Chelsea. Well, it does. Man City are probably the hardest game, but they've still got to play Newcastle away. I think they've got Brighton at home, Man United away, the next 3. Oh, Mudryk, don't fucking lose the ball. Why are people taking people on at this stage? Keep the ball. Oh, that's a bad pass, though. Now it's Sterling. Got the ball. Sterling's down. He's holding his head. Good tackle by Cucurella. And Raheem Sterling. I don't know what's going on there. Mark, would you consider doing an Old Firm game watch along? I have done one in the past, Viking. He's blown the final whistle. What's Poch doing here? I don't know what... Poch was losing his shit there. It's full time. I don't know what Poch was moaning on about. I was just watching Poch. Well, I'm going to applaud that game. Great game of football. You know, both teams took their part. Great game of football. And probably the right result. Probably the right result. I think Poch was apparently blue early when Chelsea were about to break away. He definitely blew early. Like, I don't know what time we were at when he blew, but he did 8 minutes and we should have been playing for another 6. Because that penalty took at least 3 or 4 minutes. So there should have been more time added on. I think that's probably what Poch was moaning about. Great game, says Baggy. Yeah, I think the draw is probably the right result, isn't it? But fantastic game. I'm live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock talking about United's takeover. Lots of bits to talk about there as well. I'm going to put up a match reaction here in about 10 minutes as well. Thanks everyone for watching. That's football. It's a fantastic community. I'm absolutely loving what we're building here for all of football. Don't forget to listen to Goldbridge Saves Football podcast as well. You can get involved with that. Again, on Tuesday, our podcast episode is basically a half-term report where we're going to give every team in the Premier League a score like you got at school. Will it be an A+? Will it be an F? We'll be doing that on the podcast on Tuesday morning. But I'm on United Stand at 8 o'clock, and we've always got stuff for you to talk about on this channel, and I've got a match reaction coming up as well. I'll speak to you all in a little bit. Thanks for watching.